Here's one I've wanted to talk about for a while. E.G., released in 2008 for PC by Daniel Remar, is a 2D Metroidvania-styled action-adventure platformer following the eponymous main character who wakes up and discovers that aliens have invaded Earth. On top of that, her brother Dan informs her that the scientists at the lab they were visiting beforehand have modified her with a custom nanofield and, armed with a nanogun, she must find a way to convince the invaders off their planet by whatever means necessary. Easily one of the game's best strengths is its story. While the main meat of the plot is fairly straightforward, it's the character interactions based off your choices and playstyle that really flesh it out. Killing or avoiding enemies, choosing to read certain text logs, and even doing silly things such as smashing your head on all the ceiling lights in the first level gets reactions from almost everyone. E.G. herself approaches the entire situation she's thrusted into realistically, not only breaking down from time to time, but even going as far as to not accept parts of it. Seeing just how much changes from playthrough to playthrough really encourages replayability and can make the ending range from bittersweet to tragic. Also supporting replayability is the gameplay itself. Every enemy drops nano on death, but it can also be found in crates and strewn about the levels. They act as the game's experience points, and collecting enough will let you choose to level up 7 different skills. Health, which increases your maximum HP, Attack, which increases how much damage your nano weapons do, Assimilate, which increases your maximum ammo and how much armor you repair with pickups, Strength, which improves the power of your kick, Crack, which increases the level of doors and weapons you can crack open, and lastly Taisen and Kamado, which dictates which of the respective aliens' weaponry you can assimilate into your nanogun. The difficulty you set the game at and what you decide to put your skill points into will change how you play drastically. Want to rain complete devastation on your foes? The game gives you plenty of weapons and ammo to do so, including some hidden skills you can find to annihilate everyone and everything.
Oh yeah?
Prefer not harming anyone instead? Focus your skills on health and make dodging and reflecting shots back at enemies your priority. Hey, doesn't count as a kill for you if you weren't the one shooting. The game also comes packed with a slew of content, making repeat visits fun when you're looking for hidden collectibles such as posters, ribbons, weapons, skills, superchargers that give you an extra skill point, and extras such as my personal favorite, the Scrambler, which messes with the game's dialogue hilariously. With all this said, there's one problem I've always had with repeat playthroughs: E.G.'s walking speed. You can never go faster than a casual stroll as you're playing, and it can make trying to avoid some enemies annoying at best and downright frustrating at worst. Combine this with a limited checkpoint system that means starting the whole sector over when you die, and you'll find some of the harder difficulty options horrifying to play through. Even so, it's something you get used to the more you play, and heck, the game is still very speedrunner friendly. At last year's Awesome Games Done Quick, Studio did a pacifist run in just under 35 minutes. Kudos to him on that.
For it and time.
Looking at the graphics, you might be inclined to say it's none too impressive. Personally, I love the Papercraft 3D art style of it. Reminds me of games like Another World and Flashback.
I'm you. Parts of your memory have been taken and hidden.
Oh god, not that Flashback. Whew, there we go. The simplistic, boxy sprites are easy on the eyes and makes everything stand out, even when things are getting busy and hectic. The sound design is equally as simple, with each enemy and weapon getting a distinct sound so you know what's coming up, and there's some light voice acting thrown into the mix that's especially handy against bosses, acting as auditory cues for certain attacks. All of this is more impressive when you realize most all the work was done by one guy, Daniel Remar, in his spare time. No, seriously, everything you've been seeing at this point was just one guy, with the exception of the soundtrack. Oh hell yes, the soundtrack. Darn good stuff. Oh, and did I mention this is all available for the low price of free? So even if it doesn't turn out to be your cup of tea, it's worth at least giving it a shot, provided you can get it running on your computer. E.G. runs on an old version of GameMaker, specifically 5.3, which has a hard time running on modern machines. All the gameplay you've been seeing so far has been me playing it running on a virtual machine, which gave me the best experience. Remar has stated he wants to convert it to GameMaker 7 to sort out the compatibility issues and have it available for Mac, but that would by no means be an easy feat. Still, if any of what I said so far has piqued your interest, head on over to his website and give the game a download. I'll leave a link in the description, and here's to hoping you have some better luck running it natively on your PC. Personally, I've put more time into EG than some games I've paid for, so it gets an easy high recommendation from me. And even with everything I've said, I feel like I barely scratched the surface on some of my favorite moments, mostly because I'd like you guys to find some of those on your own. Give it a go, have a great time, and take care.